All right, so I want to share something with you guys, but I'm still getting set up, which is why you're looking at the over-the-shoulder thing. And go. So yeah, I did a training today. It was pretty fun, and I just want to figure out how to get my slides set up here. I'm using OBS Studio, so you can actually look. While I'm doing this, I'm just getting set up for my stream here. I went ahead and started the stream, but I haven't set up all of my camera angles and whatnot. So got the Logitech C920 over there. And let's see, I got my slides up here that I want to share with you guys. Now I need to set up another video scene. So just take a second. So I've got my head-on video scene, got my desk cam. Take this slides input. It's actually going to be preview. This gives me the slides. Hide that logo. Maybe I'll make this a little bit bigger in case you guys can see it from back there. But essentially what I've got here is a live broadcast of a live broadcast. So this is OBS Studio that I've been using. I'll probably be switching to Wirecast at some point, but this is what I'm using for right now. And this is the live view that you guys are seeing, which is the Infinite Deacons setup. And over here is the view that I'm setting up so I can show you guys some slides. I want to make sure I'm in it too, so I'll put myself up here. Myself a little smaller. Come on, y'all know what Deacon looks like. Cool. So yeah, I did this training for Deadline Funnel earlier, and it was awesome. We had a lot of really great marketers on the call, and if you don't know what Deadline Funnel is, Deadline Funnel is really awesome software. So with Deadline Funnel, you basically can evergreen your funnel. You can take an offer. So lots of people do launches. There's like a cart open, cart close. Those happen on specific calendar dates, specific points in time. So today is the 21st. So it could be like, all right, cart opens on the 21st, closes on the 23rd. But with an evergreen funnel, you want to actually do that over and over, and you don't want to just put all your eggs in one basket, because this is another good Facebook Live that I should do coming up. But one of the things with launches is you make all your bets before. So you put down big money, you put down $20,000, put down $50,000 in ad spend to get people to the webinar, to get people into the launch process. None of that revenue comes back until you actually launch. Now, launches are really effective. People that do them well are doing a great job with them, and so they're making all that money back. But the first time you launch a product, when you launch a new product, big question mark, right? You want to put down all that money, or you want to put all the effort into the launch and just spend a little bit of money, just spend $5,000, just spend $1,000, but still do that same amount of work. And the other reason that launches are successful is because it's an event. It's like a one-time event. You know, it opens, it closes, it's done, you missed your chance. That's what makes them really effective. So if you're going to keep doing these, kind of ramping up the ad spend, you're also going to totally kill what makes the launch useful. So Deadline Funnel is really cool technology that we get to work with here a lot in the agency. But Deadline Funnel essentially lets you do kind of an evergreen launch. So each person, as they come into the funnel, gets their own launch calendar. And Deadline Funnel knows who these people are. It integrates with your CRM, with your email list, and with all of this technology so that they know, hey, this is Deacon. He came in on the 21st. He has until the 23rd to buy. But you come in tomorrow on the 22nd, you get your own countdown, your own countdown timer, because you can actually have dynamic timers on your sales pages, which are really effective. You get your own timer, and you get till the 24th. So that's basically what Deadline Funnel is. Yeah, it's really cool technology. So they did a big launch recently, and Jack, the founder, asked me to come on board and help out with some and help out by doing a Facebook training. So Facebook ads and Evergreen funnels go hand in hand, right? They're super, super powerful together. And yeah, so what I want to show you today is really just an excerpt from that training. And it's a really quick thing here. But it's a really powerful concept. So let's get over to that. One thing I'm still trying to figure out is when I'm broadcasting on OBS, how to monitor comments and stuff like that. So if you're watching this, even if you don't have a question, just throw something in the comments so I can see if this news system that I'm using is actually helping or not. So without further ado, let's see if I can show you guys some slides. These are the 3-pillar Facebook audiences that I recommend. And so there's so many different audiences that you can target, so many different things you can do these with Facebook as far as targeting goes. But really, I think it's really helpful to break it all down into 3 core audiences. The first one is warm. Now, warm traffic, these are people who anything that's retargeting falls into this view. And I put my camera right over the thing. Let me see if I can move that real fast. But more OBS antics. Boom, that better? So warm audiences include things like your email list. So you can actually upload your email list to Facebook. Facebook will go and find those people. Most of you guys probably already know that. I generally figure about a 70 to 80% match rate. So if you upload a list of 1,000 people, you're probably going to get about 700 to 800 people in that list. It varies a lot, but that's what I see a lot. Your email list. Website visitors, or WCA, short for website custom audiences. These are when you put your Facebook pixel on a page, you put your Facebook pixel on the page, and it keeps track of any pages that people are going to. So you want to target people who saw your landing page. You want to target people who just went to your website as a whole. Those are all website visitors. Third one is page fans. People who are actually fans of your page. You can target these people. They're warm. They're seeing your stuff go out. If you're watching this video right now, then you're probably in my page fan list, which is why you're seeing it. So you'd be considered warm traffic. 1, 2, 3. Fourth one is video viewers. This is a really powerful one because it's so cheap and effective, cost effective to get video viewers that you can run videos to cold traffic, and when people watch those videos, they actually get pixeled, and you can retarget them later, and that's what makes them a warm audience instead of a cold audience. And the last one, this one's relatively new, page engagement. This just started. Not all of my accounts have access to this yet, but a lot of them do. And with page engagement, you're actually able to take people who have liked a post, shared a post, commented on a post, even if they're not a page fan, even if they're not on your list, it will gather them into this audience. And this is a really powerful way to go get people who interacted, maybe because their friend commented, maybe because of something else, but go and remarket to those people and make sure that they get onto your list. That is the first pillar audience. The second pillar audience is lookalike audiences. And lookalike audiences are really cool. So I like to explain it like this. And this was better with slide animations so you won't get distracted by the bullet points. But first, just looking at this image on the right here, I'm a huge Seinfeld fan. Huge Seinfeld fan. I love it. And this episode here is the Bizarro World one, and it's one of my favorites. And so in the episode, Elaine makes some new friends. So she finds people who are essentially just like her friends, only they're not. That's what makes it bizarro. So she's got Jerry, George, and Kramer on the right. Those are her original friends. And then she's got some new friends on the left. totally forgot their names. I had it in my notes, but she finds these guys instead. And so Facebook works the same way. So look at these audiences we just talked about on the warm list. You can turn these into lookalike audiences. And essentially what you're telling Facebook is, my email list, go find me some bizarro friends that look just like them. Like, find people that look similar. Facebook's getting better and better and better at this. So this is a really good way to find cold traffic. So all of these people that come back in these audiences, these are in the cold category. We looked at warm audiences. You take your warm audiences, make lookalikes, and now you've got fresh cold traffic. A couple of rules of thumb that we go by in the agency here is, number one, we like to have 1,000 people in that audience before we make a lookalike. The minimum is 100. Facebook will let you make an audience with 100 people in it, but we like to have 1,000 as the minimum. That's what we've seen to get a quality lookalike audience that people are actually going to convert in. The other one is, these are only as good as the inputs that you get. So if you like bought a bunch of page fans years ago when that was kind of a little bit more popular, and you make a lookalike of your page fans, you probably don't have really targeted page fans. These probably aren't going to be as effective for you. So just keep that in mind when you're making your lists. The third pillar audience is interests. And let me actually pull up my notes here. Oh, not going to. So interests, I had a list of random interests that I wanted to tell you guys about, because I went and looked these up earlier, because interests are really all over the map, frankly. So interests, the first kind of category of interests, I forgot to advance the slide. There's kind of three broad categories within interests. And the first one is, surprisingly, interests, right? And these are things like people. So celebrities, people with, like, Tony Robbins is an interest, Dave Ramsey is an interest. All of these people who have personal fan pages that are really, really large, usually well beyond the 100,000 mark, they can be interests. It could also be publications or TV shows or movies, things like that. It could be other businesses, so like Aweber and MailChimp are interests, for example. It could also be just really broad interests like digital marketing or Frisbee or whatever it is. There's all kinds of interests within there. The second main category within the interest audience type is behaviors. And this is where things start to get a little creepy. So behaviors could be like your purchase behavior. Facebook knows your purchase behavior. They know, just to pull a couple random ones out, people who play console games, and they know people who upload photos. They know investors. They know who's a renter. They know how many lines of credit people have. And this is all coming from Facebook's third-party data. And it used to be ad professionals like myself and other agencies, we just kind of pushed all that aside and said, man, don't even touch that stuff. But Facebook is put a lot of effort into this. It's getting better. We're actually testing this stuff now with agency clients because it's getting more and more useful. So I would say this is kind of like on your business. If these behaviors make sense for your business, absolutely test it. You know how to test things. So go see what works. The last one is the demographics category. And this is where things, in my opinion, get even creepier, because now we're talking about things like life events, anniversaries, birthdays, how many kids you have, how old your kids are, people who got a new job, people who are newly engaged, what type of office they work in. They know that I work in this home office here versus working at a big corporation. So that's kind of the interest thing. So whenever we start off a new campaign, we actually mix all three of these ad types, okay? Warm audiences, they're always going to do the best. They already know, like, and trust you. They're further down the funnel. You don't have to do that indoctrination step. And so they're more likely to take you up on offers. The lookalike audiences, they can be hit or miss depending on the business. And again, depending on the input, the quality of that input before you start the campaign. It depends highly, which is why we always recommend Also adding in interest-based ad sets to your campaign, because these tend to be a little bit more quality controlled. And by that, I mean people self-selected into these. So rather than having just an email list that maybe you opted in for something years ago, or maybe somebody mixed their list together, and so now they're building a lookalike off of something that's a little bit polluted. With interest, it's like, oh, this guy definitely likes Tony Robbins. There you have it. So that's why we like to mix all three of these together. As a general rule of thumb for any of these targeting, as you're kind of mixing and matching, try to get between 1 million and 2 million people in the audience. That's going to give you the best chance of success. That's a super insider secret there that I just buried way deep in the middle of this of this webinar. So let me see if I had any other slides for you guys or not. Awesome. Awesome. That's kind of like that whole segment that I wanted to share there. So yeah, again, that's a excerpt from a teaching that I did for a bunch of marketers on Deadline Funnel today. It was super fun. Some upcoming Facebook Lives that I want to get into next week, maybe the week after. I'm running 3 launches right now for clients. So it's been kind of a hectic week as far as being able to get into some of this type of stuff, but got me thinking a lot. Do you guys do launches or do you do evergreen type stuff? And by that I mean, are you doing kind of like event-based things where it's like it has an actual start date and an end date, or are you doing things that are more ongoing, like signing up for a software service is evergreen, or if you're using technology like Deadline Funnel, that's evergreen? And I want to get more into that in a future Facebook Live, but let me give you the Cliff's Notes of what I like. I love evergreen funnels, okay? Why? When you're running traffic for an evergreen funnel, you have the ability to adjust and optimize, and here's the important one, scale big. Okay? You just don't have time to do that with a launch. Put your chips on the table, launch starts, launch is over, and it's kind of like playing roulette. You know, put your chips on the thing, roll the number, and then they pay it out, and it's done. You got to spin the wheel again, play a whole other turn if you want to do it. So that's kind of my quick abridged thoughts on evergreen versus launch. And we got anything else other than that? I will see you guys next week with more Facebook marketing tips, more tips to grow your business. And let me see if I can even figure out which window I had to stop this in. All right, guys, I will see you guys next week.